it gives a branch of ideas to think about, like the different kinds of prayers, which prayer, which kind of prayer could represent each patriarch. Our attitude to our lives could be related with each one of the patriarchs. The morning with Abraham, the afternoon with Isaac, and the night with Jacob. I don't know, but I wish to share it with you. When I read it, I thought, wow, it would be nice to say it to it.
Thank you.
Just this, it. Just
Thank you
this.
for your idea
Thank you.
because and the reading because we can open it in our how do you say now next classes together. So thank you for inspiring us with what you read because it gives us idea for the future. So I would like to thank you on the behalf of all of us and say good morning here to everyone, to Ruth, to Jamin, to friends on YouTube. Ruth, I hope you can hear us. Good morning.
Good morning, Hetty and everybody.
How do you do today?
Good today, thank you.
Good to hear
Yes, good.
good to hear
Thank
your
you.
voice.
Yes,
Yesterday, I
yeah,
saw your comment on Discord, and it inspired me to open more and more things. So thank you so much for your comment. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
So we're very happy.
Shalom, Ruth. Good to listen to your voice. Really, really,
Yes, it's
really.
very good to be here.
Mm,
Very good.
yes.
Thank you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, evening, or night in New Zealand. And I would like to visit or pop into the whiteboard with you and to see what is waiting for us. I see that Fernando is already on the whiteboard. Ruth and Jamin and friends who are listening on YouTube, do you have an access to the whiteboard? Do you see the writings, the verses, Fernando, on the whiteboard by chance?
Yes, it.
Thank you. And Ruth,
I can see the whiteboard, but the way I set up the system here for myself is I can see it.
Good,
Yes,
good. Do you need me to enlarge the letters or
yes,
I
please.
will, I will. So, 1 second, I'll go closer. 1 second. Please tell me if this is better, if you have better access to the letters. Do you see it better?
Yes, that's good. That's
That's
good.
good. Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you.
input. Thank you.
Thank you.
Feli- Felipe, good morning, and good morning, Kevin. We're very happy that you're here. And who would like to read? We have two verses, one from Genesis 2 and one from Genesis 27. I would like us to read those two verses one after the other, and I would like to ask us what is the connection between the two. But first, let's start and read Genesis 2, verse 24. Who will volunteer to read? We're looking for a volunteer.
Okay, that's good. I can do this.
Thank you.
Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Thank you so much. When usually people read this verse, what comes to their mind? What is the topic of this verse? What usually people, if you ask, let's make a survey, if we should interview people walking somewhere and ask them about this verse, what would they say about it?
Usually, we tend to think about only the marriage, the importance of to be in marriage with a woman or a man. Like to leave the house of the father and to cleave to a wife only.
Mm-hmm. This is what people usually think when they read this verse, because this verse appears, so to speak, after the creation of the woman, that a man in Genesis 2, God puts a man to sleep and then he takes one of his rib, and so there is a creation of a woman, and then he brings the new creation in front of man, and the man is saying, this time this is etzem atzamai, essence of my essence, flesh of my flesh. To this we shall call a woman, because she is taken for a man. And then comes this general saying. This is why man shall leave his father and mother. Now let's read Genesis chapter 27, verse 46, the speech of Rebecca. Let's try to see what she thinks and try to connect between both of them. This is what the Zohar amendments are doing. The sages of the Zohar, they read two different verses. They see a parallel connection between them. So let's see what do they. Let's read first the verse. We're looking for a volunteer.
That's good. I can do this.
Thank you.
Genesis 27:46. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me?
Thank you. So what is Rebecca saying to Isaac, her husband? What is the topic of the verse? What is the main idea here? What is she saying to Isaac? The mother to the father in this case. What is she saying? Simplicity, before we go to the amendments.
Well, she's not happy with the women that are belonging to the daughters of Heth, which presumably are living close by. She wants Jacob to have another wife, not one of the women who are local.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's look into the value of, she says, her speech in Hebrew, I'm weary of my life, katzti bechayai. I cannot live any longer with this setup. If this is what is going to happen, katzti bechayai, 630. Does this number remind us of something? Without a zero as 63. Does it ring a bell?
Sag. It reminds me.
Fernando?
The name Sag.
Yes,
right?
name Sag. Yes. The name of the tetragrammaton, filling. Yes? Yes. We take the tetragrammaton and we fill it with Yod. Do you remember? Yod. Yes, Fernando, can you increase?
It is with Yod
Yes.
and the Aleph in the letter Vav, right?
Yes. So here we have
so it is.
Yes.
It is right.
It is right.
63. This is it.
63. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rodrigo, good morning. You came on time.
Oh, hello, Etty. Sorry, I'm late today. Hello, Fernando, and shalom to everybody on Discord and on YouTube. Kevin, Ruth, and Fernando. Shalom, shalom.
And
Thank
Eti,
you.
just
Yes.
since we are welcoming Rodrigo, J-Man said that he cannot open his mic. He's not allowed. He do not have permission to speak.
It
I don't
does
know
not
how
have.
to.
Let's see, participant. Let's see. And does he? Can he speak now? Does the server give him a permission? Jamin, try to open your mic, because I clicked to speak to the server to give you permission, I opened, according to the ability that I have at the moment, I opened his microphone. So
Okay, thank you.
yes, thank you. It is open. Thank you. Hello, Fernando? Rodrigo? I cannot hear
Yes,
you.
Eti.
I cannot hear
Yes.
you. Yes?
I can hear you.
I can hear Fernando. I can hear you, Eti.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So let's go back to Rebecca. She says that she's weary of the life. Katzti bechayai, the value of Katzti bechayai is 630. Without the zero, it's 63. 63 is the name of the tetragrammaton with the filling of Yod and Aleph in the sphere of Binah. So when she says Katzti bechayai, basically, one second, this is name Sag. Name Sag is 63. She's here. What does it mean, Katzti bechayai? I don't want to have, like Ruth says, the relations with the local. She doesn't want that Jacob will take a woman from nearby or close by. She doesn't want this. Let's color it. Okay, this is it. This is space and time, or local, so to speak. There is no effort. Why she doesn't? Let's try to understand. If a man takes a woman, which is a woman, close by, he doesn't make any effort. This is what is there around on the table. Just grab your hand and pick something. Excuse me. There is no effort. So she said, Katzti bechayai. I cannot see this any longer because I cannot see space. What is happening in space and time is basically horizontal growth, like what is happening with Esau taking parallel women, children. What is there in around? He doesn't make any effort at all. So, Katsi bechayai, Rebecca says, I'm weary of my life, has the value of 630 in Hebrew, the name of Sag. Now, let us try and see what is the relation between those two verses. Let's look at the value. This is why men shall live. This is why men shall live. Just this, without the parents, just I would like to color it and give it a number. A second. Al ken ya'azov ish. Al ken, this is why men should live or shall live, has the value of 570. Yes, without the zero. Yes.
Eti,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but this phrase, Katziti bechayai, the letter Kuf, the first letter Kuf, is smaller than the normal.
Yes.
Yes, I was looking at this. Yes.
Yes. Because the kof represent what number?
100.
100. How do we reach 100 mathematically?
1 and 2 zeros.
Yes, but which number multiple by itself gives us
10
10
times 10.
10 times 10. 10 times 10. Oh, 10, yes? Gives us 100. And she said, Katzti bechayai, because 10 in the power of 2. 10 in the power of 2 is what?
100, a kuf.
Yes, but what is the meaning 10 in the power of 2 in terms of perception? This is two-dimensional. Two-dimensional. What you see is what you get. 2, again, 10 in the power of 2, this is a square. What you see is what you get. And here the kof, which represent the 100, is smaller, meaning I cannot see this, how do you say, two-dimensional perspective. Because to give us another opposite example of the letters, in one of David Psalms, he says, also a bird found a nest, gam tzipor matzah ken. And in these Psalms of David, the Kof is not little, is not regular, but a capital, very, very big letter like Bereshit. Because also a bird find a nest, this is something which is spiritual. So we have the letter, in a way, being great or being capital. But here, Katsi, I don't want to see this two-dimensional perspective about life. Because there is no, in a way, what is 10 in the power of 2 is 100. And this is Kaf. Please, Kof, slicha. Excuse me, Kof also has a foot. The foot or the leg of the Kof is going under the ground to the levels of shells. This is it. But when we take the 10 and give it the power of 3, this is a completely different dimension. This is 1000. This is also love. But this is also a third dimension. It is not just this against this, 10 against 10, but there's another dimension, the third dimension. Like when Joseph has the capability to feel the presence of his father Jacob in the house of Potiphar. This is a third dimension. Because a third dimension gives us an access to infinite. Do we understand this perspective?
Yes, thank you, Etty. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, let's go to Genesis 2, verse 24. Therefore a man shall live. In Hebrew, al ken ya'azav ish has the value of 570. Without a zero is 57. Which word in Hebrew gives us the value of 57?
I would think that 58 is hen, right? Plus
Very
1
good.
is hen.
Very good.
Or Noah, right?
Very good. Hidden wisdom. Very good. Or Noah. Very good. 57. Magid.
Oh, my God. Okay.
What is the value of Magid? The storyteller? Or the one who can put all... Yeah?
57.
57. So this is another perspective. Why? And now let's, in a way, Fernando, in the beginning, Fernando, you were expressing what people think when people are reading the verse, they should leave the house of the parents and get married. Yes? This is what people think naturally or literally when they read the verse. But now we get another perspective. Why shall man leave his father and mother? What is the reason? If the value there, yes,
to have a connection with the Magid, to
yes,
lead the unknown.
yes, to have a connection with the inner Magid in himself. This is it. This is it. Now, there is here. Do you have questions so far? Because I would like to translate to all of us Zohar amendments about this, why a man should leave his father and mother. Any questions or perspectives that you have that you would like to ask before we start? So let's read Zohar amendments from correction amendment 23 until the end, amendment 69, letter or mark 85. This is why, or therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother. His father, Aviv, is wisdom, and understanding, mother. This is what it's written, because you shall call the mother understanding. This is a verse. Em labina tikra. Ki em, this is a verse. Ki em labina tikra. Why do we call understanding mother? Because there's a verse that says that em 41 is bina. This is, we just take what is written in the verses. Felipe is writing something. Is there a connection with Lech Lecha? I mean, between a man shall leave a father and his mother. Yes, Felipe. Very good. Because Lech Lecha also create the 100. Very good. This is 10 by 10, and he should walk from this two-dimensional. Very good. To the third dimension. Excellent. So, this is what is written, that you shall call the mother understanding. And cleave, now pay attention, because this is interesting, because this is the secret level that we are entering. Vedavak beishto, and cleave to his wife. This is Vav, son, Ben. So, what is his wife according to this reading of Zohar amendments? And cleave to his wife, this is Vav. Vedavak, here I have the cursor. I hope that everybody can see. I'll make it even bigger. Vedavak beishto, and cleave unto his wife. Zo, this, Vav. Letter Vav, Ben. And afterward he cleaves to his wife, which is Hey, and they shall be one flesh. Do we understand? Let's open it a bit. Do we understand or not so much?
Oh, I believe that I need some help to understand the meaning of this test, because it's too deep and I don't know if I understand well, but say that the Ishto, her wife, is the Vav, right?
Yeah,
but
one sec. Yeah. This is confusing how it is written. I will explain. Yeah.
yes,
So first of all, should leave his father and mother. Who is? Let's start with the beginning. Who is the father now?
Chochma,
Chochma. Which letter is it?
Yod,
Yod. Father. Wisdom. So he should leave Chochma, father, wisdom, and his mother. Which letter is his mother?
first Hey,
First Hey, mother.
Bina,
Mother Bina. Understanding. Now, cleave, please pay attention, because it is encoded in the writing in Hebrew so many times that sometimes we need to reread, and if we have a question, like the question that you had, also I had in my mind. So we continue to read first time, second time, third time, until the letters are coming to us in the third dimension. So, Vedavak beishto zo vav. Vedavak beishto zo vav. Cleave into his, with to his wife. This is the letter Vav. Now he operates the letter. What is cleave? In English we say and cleave, but in Hebrew, vedavak, the letter end is Vav to connect. So vedavak, cleave. We have here the letter Vav. So the Zohar amendment says that the Vav here and cleave, vedavak is here this Vav. And cleave, this is the Vav. Because the Vav is also what? Ben, son. Because we have like 4 family types. Father is wisdom, mother is understanding. The Vav, yes, the tree is the son, and the heavenly kingdom is the daughter. So please pay attention how we switch all the time. So vedavak, vav, the connecting vav is of vedavak is the vav of the tetragrammaton, which is the son. Vedavak beishto. So vedavak, the word and to stick and to cleave, is the letter vav. In his wife or with his wife, which is the hey, his wife. And they shall become one flesh. Do we understand? He has to leave the abstract wisdom, the abstract understanding, and cleave, connect to his wife, to the hay. And this is a sacrifice which is ascending and descending. A sacrifice, korban. We say in English sacrifice, but in Hebrew korban is from karov, getting closer. So what is sacrifice in Hebrew? Korban is kirvat ha'otiyot, meaning when the letters are getting closer to each other. This is sacrifice in Hebrew. So we have to connect the letters together. Korban, sacrifice, kirvat ha'otiyot, that the letters are getting closer to each other. Yod with hey, Vav with hey. And from this we learn korban leHashem. This is a sacrifice to the Lord, to the name. What does it mean sacrifice? Not to bring cows or so, what people think, is to get the letter closer. Father and mother, the Yod and the hey, and the Vav and the hey. This is a sacrifice to bring, because in Hebrew korban is from karov, to bring them closer, to bring them together. That שמתקרבת אישה לבעלה, that a woman is getting closer to her husband. This is what is written, אדם כי יקריב מכם קורבן להשם. That human shall sacrifice from you a sacrifice for the Lord, for the name. What is Adam? This is Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. It's about the letters. It's not about animals. Do you understand the perspective?
I believe that I can understand it.
Yes, I tend to think that yes.
So when yes.
No, just to try to fit the ideas, but if I understand well, the idea of sacrifice is to approach all planes of the creation, right?
Again, can you repeat on the verse, on the verb that you said?
To approach all planes of the creation, to approach the letters, to approach the Abba, the Ima, and Zeirampin, and Nukva, as you said, if I understand well.
Yes. So to sacrifice, what does it mean to sacrifice in Hebrew? To bring together, to bring closer the letters. Because when we bring the letter closer, what comes? If few letters are coming together, what do we have?
Word.
A word. This is it. And they will become one flesh. Basar echad, one flesh, like Besorah, one word. Do we understand this reading?
Et,
Yes.
if I let me see if I understood. Let's say that so the one has to leave the abstract thinking and manifest it to the last letter headed, to the kingdom, to the other, to the people. Let's say,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
because let's get the example from today's class. I'm sure I'm certain that you, to prepare the class, you have so many ideas, and make so many connections, and it is infinite how many ideas it can brings, right? But somehow you have to ordinate in a coherent speech and articulate this speech to transmit to the kingdom, to the manifested. And to make it, you have to sacrifice all the other ideas that are around. You have to pick up only some ideas. Only some letters. You have to pick it up to make it a new bread or a new flesh to transmit it. And in every creative process, we need to pass through this sacrifice. To sacrifice a lot of others ideas that could come and to focus only in some to manifest it. I don't know if it makes sense at you or if I could express what came to me.
Yes. Yes.
But but the
And
idea is to live the abstract,
yes.
not only stay in the abstract.
Yes. Because in the abstract, everything is existing in an open way. And the sacrifice is to bring things more and more together. It is true. And while bringing things more and more together, there's more focus, like you said, and 10s or 20s idea that I had around along the night. I had to quit them and just pick or stick to one idea and to bring the relevant verses and the relevant Zohar amendments to converse. Yes? Now, here is another question. What? Now, if in Genesis 2, therefore shall men live, al ken ya'azav ish, is basically the Magid within. Why the Magid has to leave wisdom and understanding? Because this is another perspective. The Magid in us, who is the Magid in us?
Who tells a story?
Who tells a story. It's the same, yes. The Magid in us is the one who is capable to tell a story. And he lives behind the abstract wisdom and the abstract understanding and cleave to his wife and cleave to the word. The word is a flesh. This is his wife. The spoken word is his wife, and they become one flesh. His thought and the word and the speech, they become one flesh.
Beautiful. Really, really. And may I ask you, Eti, one thing only? if you could open a little more the word davak, because in the tradition of the hidden wisdom or the Kabbalistic tradition, if there is a saying like this, we can find a lot of this word devekut, that is from this root davak.
Mhm.
But usually we face the idea that to the devekut, the cleaving, is to cleave to God, is to cleave. It is going to abstract. It feels like going to abstract for me. I'm not sure if I am right, but in this context is the opposite. Is davak is to cleave to the idea and to manifest it, uh, like the artist that makes a work of art, if I understood well.
Yes, yes. This is
So
it.
if you could open this idea of devekut, I'd be glad.
Thank you. Vedavak has the value of 112, like tetragrammaton, which is 26, plus Elohim, the manifested. Rodrigo, can you check? 26 plus 86 is?
Yes, it's correct.
Yes.
It's correct.
So Enclave, Vedavak, has the value of 112. So here we have the hidden. But the hidden also becomes manifested. This is the meaning of Vedavak. Vedavak beishto. Cleave into the word. And the word was God. In John. How does John 1:1 starts in English?
I think that Kevin knows
Kevin?
the English better, but
Kevin. John 1:1, Kevin. Do you hear us, Kevin? I hope that Kevin can hear us.
Well,
Ruth?
if you can't, it's in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God,
And the word
and the
was...
Word became flesh and
Excellent.
dwelt amongst us.
Excellent, excellent. The word was God, because Milah, word is 80. Sorry, I skipped one page. Milah, word is 85, word, and God is 86. So we have plus, and the word was God, or the word not just was, but is God, is God, is God. So do we understand that Vedavak and cleave, because the tetragrammaton, or the Lord, or the 26 is the hidden. But when we speak...
and it is
Yes, Fernando?
no. I'm sorry. I was just saying that in the beginning was the word, is the word, and the word is davar, that is 206, that is the 26. The word is this hidden that you are speaking to.
Thank you. The var is also word, and this is also, without a zero, is 26. True, true, true. But let's go into it even better. I mean, what does it mean when a man cleaves to his wife, which is the word, or the spoken word? What does it mean inside of us? What happens to when a person speaks the unity, what happens? He turns to what? We were speaking yesterday about the blessing. What happens when person speaks unity? Which tree is
Well,
he? Yes?
we have a third element, or we have the one who speaks, we have the one who receives, but we have a third element that is above all. That is, we could say that is God, or the Magid,
This is
or like in the last story was Jacob, and I tend to think that it is.
this is it. This is what is written here, Fernando, in the amendment. And who is getting closer to the letters? Umi karev, I will mark it here. Who puts, or getting closer, the letters together? Who puts them together? This is the cause of all causes. This is it. This is the third dimension. This is it. So basically, this is the tree of life because it has a third dimension. The tree of knowledge is good or bad. This is the two-dimensional, like 10, double 10. But the tree of life has another dimension, the infinite, cause of causes. Questions? This is a painting from, I believe it's written between 1600 to 1700. Oriental writer cutting his pen. Questions? Impressions? Felipe is saying, amazing, thank you so much, Ruth, for the quote from John 1:1. Any question? Any thought? What do we see here in the painting?
A man who is very focused, very concentrated in a task.
What does he hold in his hand?
Does he hold a knife?
Yes.
And his pen?
Yes. What is connected?
Actually, it looks like a quill, which is the old-fashioned pen, and a knife to sharpen it.
Mm-hmm. What is the color white here? Do you see?
I'm wondering whether it's a feather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now this is interesting, because if this is a feather and he is sharpening the feather as a tool to write, and if the feather, where does the feather come from?
A bird.
A bird, and a bird can fly. Yes.
Oh yes, that yes.
So he uses the feather from a bird that can fly, and he writes his thoughts or the words, and he writes them down, and when we read those words we also can fly. We can leave our skin garment and stick to the light garment. To which direction does his face is turning, and to which direction his back is turning? Rodrigo?
No, actually, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
I just wondering the word fetter in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
If just trying to make some connection here, because it's amazing the idea that we use this that came from birds to put our thoughts in a paper. So it's amazing connection that we have a very symbolic uh, this fact that we can use pattern to write our ideas.
Yes, it is true. The word Rodrigo is notza. Notza is a feather. It is written with 4 letters. Nun, which is 50. Vav, which is 6. Tzadi, which is 90. And Hey, which is 5. This is the word
150.
1.
I believe it's 151.
This is true. 151. This is true. This is true. With the additional 1, this is 152. Can you check if Benjamin, the son of the right side of the tree of life, is also 152? Benjamin? Oh, one. This is 1.
I believe it's
One.
I believe it's
162. 162, Benjamin. 162. This is interesting. Mm-hmm. So if we look at the word feather in Hebrew, Nun, Vav, Tzadik, Hey, what is the meaning of the letter Tzadik? For example,
tzaddik.
Tzadik. What is a Tzadik?
It's a righteous man.
Righteous man. Yes. So the righteous man in a person uses the feather of a bird that can fly high. And through the ability of the bird to fly.
Yes. May I say something? Just
Yes.
looking to the Nun could represent Binah because it's the 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this thought that came from Binah, from understanding, use the tzaddik or the vav, the connection, to reach the second hey, the vessel, the malchut. So we came from Binah, the 50. We need the vav, the connection, and also the tzaddik. To this thought came to the paper, came to the reality, came to the
Yes.
malchut.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. This is it. This is it. This is it. True. Questions or thoughts?
When I first saw the picture here and saw the feather in the man's hand, I thought, oh yes, this is the Zipporah issue again. You know, where
Excellent.
she's the Twitter,
Yes, excellent.
but he uses the sharpener. He uses the knife to almost correct the flow of the feather to what he wants, so that he can write properly. So he has to scrape it away. And that's kind of almost like the sacrifice.
This is it.
You
It's
know,
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Abraham's sacrifice with the knife. So it's a continual korban.
Excellent. This is interesting because also the word bird, Tzipora, has a tzadi. This is excellent. Tzipora. Try to make it thinner. We'll get into the excellent. Tzipora is a bird. Tzipor. In a way, Moses going to his mission to take Israel out of Egypt has to withdraw from his wife. This is why his wife Tzipporah took both sons and went back to her father Jethro. So in a way it's a sacrifice. It's beautiful. To sacrifice Tzipporah and his house and children to be able to write the 10 Commandments. To, in a way, to sacrifice what we know for the things that we don't know. To sacrifice Tzipporah, the morning, the bird, the tweet, to the night. To the unknown, to the mystery. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today for a beautiful session. Rodrigo, do you hear us? Kevin?
Yes, I can hear it. It's amazing what Ruth said, and it's beautiful, this painting in our today's session was amazing.
This is beautiful, and I encourage you to participate more and more, because the more we participate and converse together, more and more gates will be open to all of us, in general, in conversation and in our private lives as they come to us. Thank you so much for this beautiful conversation. I shall be happy to meet you tomorrow at the same time. Shalom, shalom, and wonderful life.
Thank you very much, Etty. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, and thank you, everybody on YouTube. Shalom, shalom, and see you tomorrow.
Shalom, shalom.
Thank you.